Hi, this video is to teach you how to dimension a drawing or an elevation or a floor plan. Some basic guidelines to dimensioning. First of all, the definition. Dimensioning is basically the graphic conveying of measurements. You always dimension in the number of feet and the number of inches, like 2 feet dash 0 inches. Never go up to 13 inches. It's always 1 foot 1 inch. And that's the way we always do it. Never say 0 feet, just do the matter of inches. Also, we start to dimension with an extension line which extends past the actual floor plan, and then the dimension line, which is what we write on. The extension line never actually touches the floor plan. It's always just kind of got a little gap right here in between. And then we have architectural ticks right in the corner of the lines from the dimension line and the extension line. And those go for every measurement you make. Basically, we measure, you dimension the length of the wall, the length of the doorway, the length of the window, and any other measurements you need to make. There are 3 different kinds of dimensions. There's the primary dimension, which is always going to be the farthest one out from the floor plan, and the longest one, the widest. That's the primary one, which is the whole floor plan, and that's on this one it's 20 feet 0 inches. Then there's the secondary one, which is the major walls or structural elements, which is this one down here. And then there's going to be the tertiary dimensions, which are basically any supplementary walls, doors, and windows. So all the smaller things, which can be on this, or it could have its own, which would be these 3 would be up here with the primary, then the secondary, and then the tertiary would be right here, or multiple tertiary. And this is a string of dimensions, a dimension string, which means on one dimension line you have multiple different dimensions. These 2 are the same, this one's different, this one's different, this one's different. That's basically how to dimension. So thank you for listening. Ready? So this is just a quick example of how to draw an extension and dimension line. I'm just going to add on to these 2. You need your lead holder or mechanical pencil, and you need a board or a ruler, generally something that you know is straight, and your triangle. Basically, we're going to line up with the outside, because I'm just doing another one, and you make the line go straight all the way up as far as you need it to go, because there's going to be a little bit left over after the tick mark. And then same with the other side, line it right up and extend. That's why it's called an extension line. And then you're just going to move this up so that it's perfectly straight. You make your line go a little bit across. Now you're going to have these little edges of the lines go across and a little bit off from the extension lines, but you want to keep them consistent. So these should be the same length on the outside, and up here the ends of the extension line should be about the same length too. After this, you make your architectural ticks right here. They're always going in the same direction. The bottom is tilting towards the left and the top is tilting towards the right. And then on here, if we were going to do a string of dimensions, we would make our lines like lining up from down here, but we don't make the line go all the way down. It just goes a little bit right here, a little bit right here. So right here, I'm going to do this again for you right here, and right here. And this is 2 feet 8 inches. The writing should always be about 3/16 or whatever you're required to have it for. These lines aren't the same size, but they should be, so I'm just going to extend this a little bit. And finally, on every line you make on the dimension line, you must have an architectural tick going the same direction. Also, all of your lettering, all of your writing numbers must be on top of the dimension line. So if your dimension line, like I'm going to try it right over here and do another one for you, because you can have dimensioning on usually you only do 2 sides, but you could have it on any side of your drawing. And either way, with the ticks right here, you still need the writing to be on top of the dimension line. So over here it would be this way. If we were doing another one to go along with this, a secondary one, we would reuse this line. Say it's going to line up to this line right here with the door swing. Just continue it, but we don't need to make another line for it, because we can reuse, because it's the same, it has the same outward line as this one. We need 2 ticks right here, and I'm just gonna say X because I don't actually know what the measurement of that is. Finally, every time you have an extension line and a dimension line, you must have a measurement. I could not leave these 2 empty. It's totally incorrect. You don't draw one if you're not going to measure it and you're not going to dimension it. That's why it's called a dimension line. So again, I'm just going to leave X's here because I don't know the measurements, and I would go back afterwards and I would make sure that these were 3/16 size writing, and I would have the correct measurements in there. There you go.